Before we start, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Now let's dive into the story. Imagine 10 earthquakes in just 24 hours. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's the reality that Ethiopia recently faced. Within a single day, the earth rumbled and roared around the Fentale volcano in the Awash region, an unparalleled seismic event that sent tremors through the local inhabitants and the scientific community alike. The quakes varied in strength, but they all packed a punch, with magnitudes ranging from 4.3 to a solid 5.1 on the Richter scale. The most powerful struck in the deep, quiet hours of the night, jolting people from their slumber, casting an eerie mood over the dawn of the new day. Yet the physical tremors were merely part of the narrative. Tom Pfeiffer, a distinguished volcanologist, painted an even more chilling picture. He theorized that these numerous quakes could indicate a potential magma intrusion, a situation that greatly escalates the risk of a volcanic eruption in the region. The Fentale volcano, which quietly sits at the epicenter of this seismic zone, is familiar with eruptions. Its last explosion occurred in 1820, but these recent quakes act as a daunting reminder that the volcano may be awakening from its dormant state. This seismic activity is not just a geological incident, it's a tangible and immediate threat. The residents living under the shadow of the Fentale volcano have felt the ground quake beneath their feet not once, not twice, but 10 times in a single day. Their homes, their security, their peace of mind, all have been disrupted by this extraordinary event. These tremors have not only shaken the ground but also the nerves of those living in the region, and rightfully so. As we explore further into the human impact of this seismic event in the following scenes, let's not forget that the earth communicates to us in rumbles and shakes, and it's our duty to listen, comprehend, and most importantly, if you're finding this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. But what does this mean for the people of Ethiopia? The consequences, unfortunately, are severe. In the eye of this seismic storm is the Awash Fentale district, a region grappling with the aftermath of the recurrent quakes. According to the district administrator, Adam Bahi, the tremors have forced thousands of people to abandon their homes, fleeing in fear of their lives. Families, once content in the familiarity of their homes, are now displaced and in desperate need of basic necessities. These earthquakes have not only shattered homes, but also livelihoods. The rural communities of Awash Fentale are largely dependent on their livestock. The tremors have claimed the lives of these animals, leaving families with an even more uncertain future. The distressing reality is that more than 100 houses in the Afar region have been damaged, leaving over 2,500 people without a roof over their heads. These numbers, however, only scratch the surface of the crisis. Beyond the physical damage, the psychological impact of these earthquakes cannot be ignored. The constant fear of another tremor, the anxiety of losing loved ones, or the dread of losing one's home, these are burdens the people of Awash Fentale carry with them every day. Moreover, the need for shelter and food is immediate and pressing. The displaced families require our empathy, but more importantly, they need tangible support. The provision of basic necessities is a crucial step towards restoring some semblance of normalcy in their lives. The distressing reality is that these earthquakes have left many Ethiopians in dire need of help. Remember to hit the subscribe button to stay updated on our latest videos. Now, to understand happening, we turn to the experts, and their prognosis is worrying. Professor Atale Ayale, Director of the Institute of Geophysics, Space Science and Astronomy at Addis Ababa University, has been observing the seismic activity in the region. His observation paints a picture of escalating intensity. While the seismic events had maintained a quiet demeanor for a while, their magnitude has now increased to an alarming 5.1 on the Richter scale. This isn't the first time this region has experienced such tremors. Just a few weeks ago, on December 14th, an earthquake with a magnitude of 4.7 struck the same area. The event caused widespread panic among the local population. Furthermore, going back a little further, on November 26th, a 5.3 magnitude earthquake rocked the region, causing notable damage to homes and prompting evacuations. And it's not just these significant seismic events that have been causing concern. there's a constant reminder of the underlying instability in the form of smaller tremors and explosions. These have been occurring regularly, adding a persistent undercurrent of fear among the local residents. Every small tremor, every minor explosion serves as a reminder of the region's seismic vulnerability and the potential for a major disaster. As Professor Aile notes, the phenomenon may have been quiet for a while, but its intensity has undeniably increased. This is a clear indication that the region's tectonic activity is not settling down. On the contrary, it seems to be gearing up for something more significant, more disruptive. While the Earth might have been quiet for a while, it's clearly speaking now, and it's speaking loudly. If you have any thoughts or questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. So, causing these earthquakes? The answer lies deep beneath the surface. In the vast expanse of the African continent, a unique geological phenomenon unfolds. The East African Rift Valley, a region known for its geological instability, is home to numerous active and dormant volcanoes, seismic zones, and, at its heart, the cause of these recent tremors. It's a place where the Earth's tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart, creating a rift that's visible even from space. This tectonic activity is the main driving force behind the earthquakes that have been shaking Ethiopia. Now let's bring our focus to Mount Fentala. This dormant volcano, which last erupted in 1820, lies at the center of the seismic activity. Over centuries, Fentale has stood tall and silent, a sleeping giant amidst the landscape. But recent events suggest this slumber may not last. The increasing seismic activity around the volcano is causing concern among experts. Is it waking up? Could there be an eruption on the horizon? These are questions to which we currently have no definitive answers, but they certainly add to the urgency of the situation. This region, with its rich geological history, has always been a hotbed for seismic activity. But the recent escalation, the frequency and intensity of the earthquakes have made it clear that something significant is happening beneath the surface. The tectonic plates are shifting, magma may be intruding into new areas, and the ground is responding with violent shakes. As we grapple with these questions, one thing is clear: the Earth is moving. It's a stark reminder of the powerful forces that shape our planet, forces that are often out of our control. And while we may not be able to stop these natural processes, understanding them is the first step towards better preparation and response. The Earth beneath Ethiopia is not just shifting, it's sending a message. It's a message that speaks of change, of movement, of the dynamic and ever-evolving nature of our planet. And as these shifts occur, the people of Ethiopia living on this moving landscape are feeling every tremor. It's a reminder of our shared vulnerability in the face of nature's power, and the urgent need for action, understanding, and resilience. The Earth is moving, and the people of Ethiopia are feeling every tremor. Before we continue, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means a lot to us. The question now is, what can be done? And the answer is, a lot. The escalating risks highlighted by Dr. Meseret Getachew are a wake-up call to us all. The threats to critical infrastructure, lives, and livelihoods are real and imminent. Imagine roads fracturing, dams bursting, and energy facilities crumbling. Think of the lives at stake, the livelihoods disrupted. This isn't a hypothetical scenario, it's a potential reality if the sequence of earthquakes continues unabated. But it's not just about the infrastructure or the human cost. The tremors also pose a significant threat to the natural and cultural sites that define Ethiopia. The Awash National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is at risk. This park is more than just a tourist destination. It's a haven of biodiversity, a treasure trove of natural beauty and ecological richness. If prolonged seismic activity continues, the park's biodiversity and tourism potential could be irreparably damaged. So how do we combat this seismic menace? Dr. Jonas Wurkina, a disaster relief expert, provides a roadmap. Improved monitoring systems are crucial. We need to detect seismic activity early and predict its future course. We need to be one step ahead of the earthquakes, not trailing behind their destructive path. Public awareness campaigns are vital. People need to know what's happening, why it's happening, and what they can do to protect themselves and their communities. Knowledge is just power, it's survival. Enhanced disaster preparedness is essential. We need to be ready to respond swiftly and efficiently when disaster strikes. This includes having evacuation plans in place, emergency supplies on hand, and trained personnel ready to act. But Ethiopia can't do this alone. It needs global support. This is a call for international solidarity, for shared responsibility. We need to pool our resources, our expertise, our compassion, and our resolve to help Ethiopia face this seismic challenge. This isn't just Ethiopia's problem. It's a global concern. Every tremor felt in Ethiopia sends ripples across the world. Together, we can make a difference.